Thank you for staying with us. Now, let's move on. We'll be looking at the United States Consulate Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. Well, this is a free United States government initiative that supports women entrepreneurs around the world. And to tell us more about this, we have the U.S. Consulate Deputy Public Affairs Officer, Jennifer Foltz.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we have two ladies who have gone through this scheme, and they're proud to come and tell us about it this morning. We have Beauty Martins Ajayi, and she is the 2020 Academy for Women Entrepreneur alumnus, and she's the creative director of MOBA Design. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'd also like to welcome Ifeoluwa Folawiyo, the 2020 AWE alumnus and founder of Tafe Organic Rack.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Tafe Organic Rack. Now, let's start from there. What is Tafe Organic Rack?
Okay, thank you. Well, Tafe Organic Rack is a natural skincare company that is dedicated to manufacturing natural skincare products for the community of people who have dry and sensitive skin. We help them find relief from these skin conditions and restore their confidence back.
Oh, so you have soaps and you have creams and you have stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay. Now to you, madam. The AWE is in its third year. What is this all about and how did it all start?
So it actually started back in 2019, and the White House launched the WGDP initiative. And this was the first time the whole US government came together to look at how to empower women economically around the world. And the Department of State and the US Consulate here in Lagos are so committed to empowering Nigerian entrepreneurs, especially women, that we became a pilot country for this program. So we started in 2019 with 100 women. And then in 2020, where both of these women are from, that cohort, that was 120 women. And then this year, on September 7th, we will launch our third edition for 250 women. And when I say this program is very competitive and there's a lot of interest, we had over 15,000 applications this year for just 250 slots.
Wow. So you've been moving from 2019 when it started, 100, 2020, even within the pandemic?
So that was, for this cohort in 2020, we had to switch everything virtually. And we were able to do that very successfully. The whole program is based on Dream Builder, which is an online course. But then we bring in the Nigerian context by bringing in Nigerian female entrepreneurs who are very successful to serve as resource persons, as mentors. And so we were able to actually successfully do it online in 2020.
Now, why is the U.S. interested in doing this?
So the U.S. really believes in empowering Nigerian female entrepreneurs because when women are empowered economically, they reinvest in their communities, they reinvest in their families, and that has a ripple effect. You know, that really boosts the education and skills of the workforce. And in the end, that leads to a more economically boost for Nigeria, as well as it enhances stability.
Beauty Martins, tell me about your experience.
My experience during the AWE program was one of the most amazing experience for me because it came at a point where I was literally shutting down. I was in between deciding if I was going to go ahead with my dream and the idea. But with the Dream Builder course, the facilitators and everything, it brought me back to a sense of belonging, to say, oh, this was community, this was home. And in all of this, I was learning. And that was the point where I made up my mind that I was going to forge ahead with the business pursuit.
What were you learning?
Not your dream.
The business is my dream.
Okay.
All right. What were you
so
learning?
This helped your dream. It helps progress your dream.
Progress my dream. Okay, what we learned from the course. So there were different phases of the course. The Dream Builders was one of the core, which started from your idea, building your dream. It talked about literally it was a business school for me. That was what it was and it was a simplified business school because we had to go through every process in the business, from accounting to financing to even funding your dream. So they basically even taught us ideas on how you could fund your dream without having to wait for funds from wherever. But that was an amazing process for me.
How do you
because
fund your dream without waiting for funds from somewhere?
basically, one of it for me was bootstrapping, being able to start where you are, start with what you have, and then grow over time. Because the reality is, most times, if we're starting a business, no, irrespective of how much you've been able to put in, you still are testing the idea. So in testing the idea, how about you start with what you have, test the idea with the market. If the market welcomes the idea, at that point, you'll be able to say, oh, yes, I can now grow this from where it is to where exactly I want it to be.
Okay, Mrs. Folawio, did you own Tafe Organic before you joined the course?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. So what effect did being in the course have on your business?
Oh, wow. There's a lot to say because it has moved me from a ground level.
Keep it short.
Yes, I will. It has moved me from ground level to a different level entirely, a higher level. The course, the programs, the design of the program was I think it was specified to help you think out of the box with your business and think of how to move your business, make your business go global. Because that is what it has done for me. Because I've been able to move in just 6 months of the program, after the program, post the program, I've been able to move from operating from a room in my apartment to having my own factory space, which is 30 times bigger than where I'm coming from.
30 times?
Yes, bigger than where I'm coming from. I was just me working with a temporary staff. Now I have 2 permanent staff. I have a temporary staff and with me, so I have 4 people on my team. And also my revenue has grown over 1,000%. I never thought of exporting, but the program made me, it gave me clarity to dream bigger, to see so much more in my business and how to make it happen. And now I export to the US, I export my products to the UK and also Canada. Wow. And it's surreal because, when I think of where I was last year in my business, let's say December, I never thought it could happen so fast.
Well, Jennifer, no need to ask about feedback from all those who attended the academy. But in the meantime, her business grew exponentially. I mean, does this program have any part where it provides funds for those who are taking part in it?
So not directly related to AWE, but there are other benefits like the community they mentioned. Now they have a network of hundreds of other female entrepreneurs who can help them as they work to grow their business. But because AWE has been so successful, it drew the attention of the U.S. African Development Foundation. And so they reached out and they said, what you're doing in Nigeria is amazing, and we want to help some of those women boost their businesses. So we had, in 2019, 3 of them successfully received grants, and then in 2020, 7 of them. And actually, Beauty is one of them who received a grant from USADF.
Grants? That means you don't have to pay back anything?
No, you don't have to.
Now, okay, we've heard about how her business grew. How did yours grow?
Okay, my business grew from a point of almost closing down to going over, I would say 200%. I wouldn't say 1,000 because at the time where AWE came through, I was literally thinking of shutting down. But then in the course of the program, I met other amazing women who were doing things I could look up to and say, oh, it means I can move forward. So during the AWE course, I was able to understand structure because one of the major issues I had in my business was I was doing everything myself. So in the course of the program, I learned in one of our courses that for you to grow your business, you had to set up structure. So at that point, I knew I had to employ artisans. Being a furniture maker as female, it's tough. So I got in more staff, permanent. I got 4 permanent staff full-time, and I got about 6 part-time staff. And with that, I've been able to move away from the business. I can literally do other things and the business still runs. So for me, that was one of the most amazing things the course of the program did for me. And also, it builds community. Because earlier, I base in another region of the country, and literally most times when I have to purchase products or raw materials, I have to come all the way to Lagos. But with the community we have, all I need to do is reach out to one of my cohort members, one of the women, and I say, oh, I need this. Can you give me a contact? And I get that. It makes work and production easier for me. So
the stuff that you need is delivered to you?
Delivered to me. Or I have someone from the community who goes all the way, gets it for me, and sends it to the
Where are you stationed?
I stay in Port Harcourt. I'm based in Port Harcourt.
Okay. So what does MOBA really do? You've mentioned furniture. Is it just furniture?
MOBA is a sustainable furniture design sustainable furniture and interior design brand. And when I say sustainable furniture, we do a lot with reusable materials. I make furniture with tires, tables, center tables, playground materials, and I also it's inclusive with wood, tires, and a lot. So from that, I also use those pieces to do amazing interior design pieces.
Jennifer, we understand that there's a special cohort for migrants who will return to the academy. Tell us about that and how you're supporting them.
Yes, so in the 2020 cohort, we had 20 women were selected as from among those who are returnees back to Nigeria. And so, they were all aspiring businesswomen, but they were coming from, difficult backgrounds and were maybe at a lower level in their businesses as some of our other women. And so we had a very focused special training for them. And they came out with so much more confidence. I think that was one of the biggest things that happened. But we wanted to give them even more of a boost. So this year, we gave them a 4-day special training on how to pitch your business, how to get in front of an investor or a partner and really pitch your business to them. And actually, last night was the closing of it. And I was just mentioning it earlier that the 3 of them won prizes. They won cash prizes to boost their businesses. And I have to say, honestly, by the end, we were all crying because it was so powerful that really maybe just a year or a year and a half ago, where they came from in their lives, many of them felt like they had no hope. And this program has given them hope and has given them a business, and now they have just really found their footing back in society. So it's really amazing.
So yes, it's one thing to have an idea, a business idea, and be able to pitch it properly, just so you can attract, the necessary grants or, support.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Yes, Jennifer, staying with you, how do you choose the women who come on this program?
It's a very good question. So we haven't mentioned yet that, of course, I'm not out doing this on my own. My colleagues at the Consulate, we don't have this type of expertise and manpower to get out and do it. So we have a very amazing partner. Her name is Sarah Inya Lawal, and she's the founder of Ascend Studios Foundation. And so she is our partner, and her team are the ones who are actually implementing the program on the ground. And so, like I said, the first year we got 6,000 applications for 100 slots. The second year we got 10,000 applications, and this year we got 15,000 applications. So you can imagine it's a huge undertaking to select those who make it. But basically, they read, it's hours and hours, weeks and weeks really, of reading all of the applications. But in the end, we're trying to have a good spread. We want to have women from different levels of business, from different industries, and from different areas throughout southern Nigeria. Because if you just chose people who were already very far along in their business, there's actually a lot to learn from people in different levels of their business. I know Beauty was saying she felt like she was, very young to be in the group, but actually people far along in their business have a lot to learn from those just starting out. So we make sure we have a very diverse group, and that's how in the end we came up with those we selected. And
the scheme for 2021 is over, I guess?
So we're just starting on September 7th. We will officially launch it for 250 women.
Okay, so have they applied already, or they need to apply now?
They've already applied, they've been selected, and we will start. It will actually be mostly virtual, but we'll try to do some very safe in-person portions, because that connection is also very important.
COVID-19, you mentioned that your business grew, and your revenue, did I hear revenue?
Yes.
Growing 1,000%. During the COVID time. How did you manage that?
Okay.
Is there something you learned from, this academy?
Yes, there's a lot I learned from the academy. Well, okay, so post-COVID. During the COVID time, actually, was when I applied, and I got selected, and then we started the program. But post-COVID, during the course of the program, I learned a lot about how to, like I said earlier, dream big about my business. And one of the things I learned was export. Like, if you're not exporting, you you are not in business. I'll put it that way. Like a mentor once said, if you don't export, your business is likely to die if you're operating from Nigeria because of the, the exchange rate and all that. So I thought about it, that I never thought that it could happen. But I thought about it like, I have people who use my products that are based in these countries, and they've given positive reviews. Why not speak with them, sell the vision to them, and tell them, okay, you've used this product, you can tell. What if you sell it to your community of friends or people over there? And it didn't happen overnight. I kept selling the vision, and they bought into it. And yes, we are partners today. And this is one of the things that I learned at AWE, is that you have to reinvent, you have to be creative, you have to be innovative, you have to think outside of the box. Of course, along the way, I had to work on my packaging. I had to make it something of international quality and standard for this, because the first thing they ask you, can I see pictures of your products? And when you send them, and then they, oh, this looks like something I can sell in my community over there. And so they're ready to do business with you. So at AWE, I learned that you have to, no matter what happens, you have to, you have to look for ways to reinvent. Like, I wasn't doing trainings before. I was doing trainings, on a small level. People come to me one-on-one. But I thought of doing something bigger. And that made me apply for the, apply to the German Institute, Nigerian German Institute, to Nigerian German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration, to train 50 women on acquiring the skills of soap making. And I got the bid, I won the bid, and that was an amazing experience for me. And it was more impacting other people, other women. So to me, it was giving back, and then, reinventing and looking for other ways to, bring in income to the business. And so that was a big one for me. And I intend to do more of that.
Now, Beauty, what is it like as a woman doing business in Nigeria?
Okay, being a woman in business in Nigeria, for me, my experience is two sides of the coin. When I started initially, it was tough, especially for my industry. I go to the market and like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's mainly men who.
It's mainly men. So sometimes I
right.
go to the market, I'm wearing maybe a jean and a t-shirt, and they're like, did you come here with someone? I'm like, no, I came to buy wood.
Wood.
Like, you came to buy wood. What are you? I said, I'm a furniture, and they hold my hand. And they're like, I said I'm a furniture maker.
Are you making furniture?
For over time, it was difficult because sometimes I go to the market, you get harassed. But then, over time, they got used to it. And it's not amazing because most times I get support in terms of, I go, maybe I'm bidding for a job and there are so many men, no hearts to anyone. And they look at me like, you're a furniture maker, can we see your work? And I say, oh, you get it. Because you're a woman, there's an amazing kind of support. There's an amazing kind of support. So that's really beautiful for me because I get the support. I go for jobs. I show them my gender. Because you're a female and you do what you do well. So it's two ways, not necessarily just because I'm female. I'm female in a male-dominated industry and I'm doing it well. So most times it gives me opportunity. It gives me room for opportunities.
Okay. Now, we need to start winding down. So let me ask you this, Jennifer. Are there other programs or initiatives that support entrepreneurship in this part of the world, organized by the United States Consulate, of course?
Absolutely. We have a lot of other exchange programs where we send, for this program, the women stay here. And even though once they graduate, we consider them to be our alumni, so they're part of the U.S. Consulate family. We have other programs where we actually send Nigerians to the United States on different topics, but sometimes on entrepreneurship. And then we also do fund other organizations who are doing smaller entrepreneurship trainings here. So we recently did one where they were training, it was called Stay-at-Home Moms. So it was training women who were staying home, maybe because of young children or because of the pandemic, but giving them the skills to run businesses out of their homes. And a lot of those, similar to our graduates from AWE, have taken off as well.
And the director is telling me in my ears that some men are asking, don't you have an academy for male entrepreneurs?
We don't have Academy for Male Entrepreneurs yet, but all of our other trainings in general are focused at both men and women. This happens to be just a special program for women. And we were talking earlier, when women support other women, amazing things happen. And so I think something we really focus on is building the confidence of the women and then teaching them that you don't have to compete. Just because you're in the same industry, you're actually going to grow more if you collaborate. And that's something that is really unique and special among our AWE graduates.
I'll share with you a word I learned from Professor Pat Utomi. He said you can co-compete. You can cooperate and compete. So the competition doesn't have to be, like competition fierce and we're fighting each other. We can work together and still end up competing with each other. Let's support each other. Congratulations, and congratulations to you women.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the best at your next cohort coming up next week.
Next week.
Well done, ladies. I think I'll come and learn how to make soap and all that from you. No, I can't learn how to make furniture nice. Congratulations to all of you. This is a success story. Thank you very much for coming. Jennifer Foltz is the U.S. Consulate Deputy Public Affairs Officer, and she came along with two alumna of the AWE from the 2020 cohort, Beauty Martins Ajayi, as well as Ifeoluwa Folawiyo. Thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sunrise will return in just a moment with another interesting conversation. Make sure you stay with us.